We are the children of God, created in the likeness and image of God. When spiritual blindness is removed from our lives, we become a mirror where God sees our brothers and sisters, our neighbor in us, and our brothers and sisters or our neighbor would be able to see God in us. In today's gospel, we have a very good miracle that happened outside the village of Bethsaida. Jesus and his disciples came to Bethsaida. Then a few people brought a blind man to him, and they wanted Jesus to heal him. And Jesus did not say no to that. Jesus took that man outside the village, and through a gradual process, first he applied some saliva on his eyes, and he was able to see a little bit, like people walking like trees. Then when Jesus laid his hands on his eyes, he was able to see clearly. Now there are some important lessons that Saint Mark, the evangelist, teaches us through this miracle. The first thing is, this blind man who is from the village of Bethsaida had a kind of a disbelief around him. The village Bethsaida, the meaning of that is house of hunt or valley of tears, is a place where Jesus performed numerous miracles. And in another gospel, Matthew chapter 11, we see Jesus is lamenting over Bethsaida. Woe to you, Bethsaida! Talking about the number of miracles that he performed there, but people did not believe in him. That means in the whole village, there is an atmosphere of disbelief rather than belief. They approached Jesus for curiosity, for benefits, and for entertainment. We can approach God from that point of view. So that is why Jesus is able to understand, because he has extraordinary knowledge of the status of the people, always, as we read in John chapter 2. And that could be the reason when Jesus took that man outside the village. And again, that 2 times, that could be a process that where this man also was conditioned in a way by the disbelief, lack of faith in himself because of the surroundings, because of the environment. And that is why Jesus kept through a process. He wanted his spiritual blindness to be healed first, so that he will be able to see properly. His physical blindness could be healed. My dear brothers and sisters, in our spiritual life, there is something we need to know. That is the second lesson. We can have an encounter with God. We can have a very good spirituality. But at the same time, we need to remember that this spiritual blindness could be very much a part of our life unless we do not keep an integrity of life. In the first reading, St. James says that the person who hears the word is like the one who is looking into a mirror and sees his natural face within it. And later on when he goes out, he forgets about what he has seen in the mirror. And authentic spirituality is like when we look into the Word of God, we will be able to see who we are. When we sit before God in genuine prayer, opening ourselves, surrendering ourselves before God, we will be able to see who we are. We are the children of God, created in the likeness and image of God. So, those who are genuinely looking into this Word of God in this way and sitting in prayer will be able to understand who or she is. But after looking into that, when we engage with our ordinary life situations, if we are forgetting what we have seen in that reflection, in that Word of God and through prayer, what we have seen, then the spiritual blindness can remain with us. The disbelief can continue. We may think that we are practicing everything, we are doing everything, but when we forget who we are, what we have seen in the Word of God, then the spiritual blindness will remain. And the reading the Word of God and praying and living according to that will be the only means to come out of this spiritual blindness. When we are authentic spiritual beings who relate with God, then the people will be able to see God in us, and God will be able to see people in us. And we will be able to see in the Word of God our brothers and sisters, and we will be able to see in the people our God.